All right, then that moves us on to our special presentation, which is the McNab House and Botanical Garden update. Mr. Tran, are you with us?
I am. Thank you, Mayor.
There you go. Turn it over to you.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the CRA board, Nguyen Tran, CRA Director.
Nguyen, it's Sandra. You can turn your camera on so we can see you if you'd like. On the bottom left, you can turn your camera. There you go. Now we can see you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. We are very excited to bring this special presentation to you. Just want to lay the foundation of where we're at here on the McNab House and Botanical Garden project. We, as the CRA board, met last month. The CRA board approved a contract for Bermello, Ajamel, and Partners to be the record architect to take us on to the next stage of this process. We as staff are still working to get the foundation permit on the first stage of it, but we wanted to bring back a presentation because we haven't met in a while, and really just to update everybody on where we're at. So BNA's here, Randy Hollingsworth will be the presenter to just show you on some concept ideas of what botanical gardens mean. But the main point is this is a blank slate for us. This is whatever, conceptual drawings that everybody has seen in the past. This is a fresh start. This is where we would do the robust public input and outreach efforts and definitely make sure that we get enough input on what people want to see to help craft this conceptual master plan for the park that works. So with that said, I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Hollingsworth from Bermello Ajamel.
Good afternoon. I hope you can see my screen with the BA logo and blank.
Yes, we see it. Thank you.
Great. Good afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners. I'm Randy Hollingworth, and thank Nguyen for that introduction. We're going to give you a fairly brief presentation, starting with if I could forward the projector. Let me see here. Oh, there it is. It's kind of an overview of who we are and this project and the concept of developing a botanical garden on the McNab House site in Pompano Beach. Bermello Ajamel has been hired as the lead consultant on this project to develop the concept for the gardens and any structures that are associated with that. We are a firm principally located in Miami and Fort Lauderdale. We have 6 offices though. We offer a full range of design services ranging from landscape architecture, planning, urban design, architecture, interior design, and we'll be leading the effort, working with Nguyen to develop this really exciting plan for the city for this really unique project. The firm provides services virtually on projects all over the world, and we have been really lucky to be involved with some really phenomenal projects around the world. I'm working right now, in fact, in Port Louis, Mauritius, on a master plan for the waterfront, a large urban design plan incorporating gardens and urban development on a project on the other side of Africa. So we have really lucky to work in a lot of different locations and bring that experience to this team. The firm itself worked on a wide range of public parks and public open space projects. This is a small project we did in Tampa. Kate Jackson Park is a neighborhood park. We developed a site that was basically undeveloped with a chain link fence, and this is the final product, which incorporated a small public garden, community garden, sculptures, and architectural features. In addition, after this was completed, the city then hired us to work on Burns Park, which is adjacent to the very famous Burns restaurant. The family contributed a sculpture to a central water feature, and we developed the design for this park very close in the old historic Hyde Park neighborhood in Tampa, Florida. The park has been very successful and has set a new standard for park design and parks in the public open spaces in Tampa. In addition, we worked on the Sullivan Park in Deerfield Beach. This was the existing site, as you can see from the aerial, and developed a full plan for the redevelopment of that park. This is one of many projects that we've developed in South Florida and are continuing to work on right now. This project was completed a couple years ago, very successfully, and really is a spectacular public open space, which we look at, even though it's different than a botanical garden, it has a lot of aspects that will be very similar as far as the use of public open space and how that's designed to facilitate all the different types of activities. One that we're working on right now is the Doral Sensory Playground and Nature Preserve. This is located in the Doral Central Park, which is a new $90 million project that we're working on in Doral. It's a very large park and it has many components, but this was one aspect that we're creating this natural setting in a completely, it's just a grass area sitting on a lake. We're going to create this entire environment, much like you have to do in a botanical garden and much like we're going to have to do on this site in Pompano Beach. This is a rendering of the project. We're right now in the early phases of developing the design. And I'm sorry, I may have missed my introduction. I'm Randy Hollingworth. I'm the Director of Planning, Landscape Architecture, and Urban Design for Bermel Ahamil. And on the call today, we also have Kirk Olney, who is our Senior Landscape Architect, and James Bowers, who is an architect who will be the architect on our project on this botanical garden project. In addition, we've had another firm who is really well renowned for its work in botanical gardens, the Carbo Group. They have done some just amazing projects and really focused on the redesign of new botanical gardens and rehab of existing ones. This is the work they did in the New Orleans Botanical Garden Arrival Plaza. Quite spectacular from a plant point of view. They also have just finished a demonstration kitchen. It's a themed garden in the New Orleans Botanical Gardens, and it's very, very successful, and certainly is a unique idea for how to utilize the opportunities of a botanical garden. The Shangri-La Botanical Gardens in Orange, Texas have been completed. This is another project they designed and beautifully done, utilizing both the natural areas and man-made areas and this amazing boardwalk going through the natural areas of the park. They worked on the Redbud Botanical Gardens in Salt Lake City, a phenomenal site with a phenomenal grade change, which we probably fortunately don't have to deal with on this project, but a very interesting concept of integrating landscape and architecture and the design of a new botanical garden for this project. We looked at the idea of botanical gardens and want to just kind of bring everybody up to speed on some of the components that make up a botanical garden, because I think there's a misperception of what that may be for Pompano Beach. And there were some major design components that we looked at in how botanical gardens come about, starting with plant communities and themed gardens, garden structures, water features, lawns, walkways, and seating. And these are some of the physical elements that you see in most botanical gardens, whether it's a wetland-themed garden, edible gardens, butterfly gardens, native. You also have the opportunities for Polynesian rainforest gardens, desert gardens, orchid gardens. And the beauty about having a project in Florida is that we can create many of these and not have to do them inside of the conservatory or structure, and that we can create any of these depending on what the direction we take this project in for the benefit of the community. There's also the opportunity to do Chinese gardens, which is a big component of many botanical gardens. Not that we need to do it here. They can be quite large scale, or like the Miami Beach Botanical Garden, a very small Japanese garden placed in one portion of the actual park itself. Garden structures play an important part of the botanical garden. They provide different facilities in the park, whether it's a place to sit, a shaded area, a focal point, but you can see here they have different characters and different style depending on which garden they're located. There's also more major structures, which may be a restaurant. Fortunately, we have the McNab house on the site, and that will become our major feature as far as a structure goes for this project, and the conversion of that to a restaurant to benefit the community and the garden itself. And these are some of the images of different botanical gardens, and they're the larger structures they have for either restaurants, which they had to build, we were fortunate enough to have it brought to our site in this case. Water features play a very important part, especially in Florida, because they're able to create microclimates, and we're able to adjust the climate by incorporating water features into the botanical garden. And you can see they take on different forms, whether it's a koi pond or a turtle pond or native area. They really become a major feature in most botanical gardens that we would incorporate. You can see here, this is actually the Royal Botanical Gardens in Canada, in Hamilton, Ontario, and the water features, fountains, and lake features, koi ponds that they've incorporated in that design. Here you see a wide range of either waterfalls or reflective pools as you walk into an entry to a botanical garden, but all the different forms that water takes on a project like this. Lawns, walkways, and seating. Lawns are very important because they provide an opportunity for flexibility of uses. For example, in the Miami Beach Botanical Garden, they have a lawn area. It's a very small park, but they have this lawn area that they're able to host weddings, Art Basel events. They can actually facilitate a 500-person wedding on the lawn area with either set up tents or tables. So it becomes a beautiful aspect of the park, but also an area that you can use for different types of activities other than just the garden-based activities. Walkways become very important because they become part of the circulation system for the park. Whether it's a walkway that's natural, you see in the upper left corner, that actually takes you through a nature area, develop walkways that reflect the character of the landscape in which they're located. These all become very important parts of the overall project. And you can see here a boardwalk becomes a critical element in the design of interpreting the natural landscape of this botanical garden. Seating. Clearly, these are all actually pictures of the Miami Beach Botanical Garden. They have a wide range of seating opportunities, but it's very important that you provide an amenity for guests coming to the gardens, whether that be seating at a cafe or outdoor seating. You can see in the bottom center a very natural-like bench that was placed in the nature area at the gardens, and that sort of reflects the character of the theme that you're trying to create. They also provide opportunities for fundraising. The benches in the lower right were used with plaques on them to raise money to help contribute to the funds for the gardens themselves. As you can see here, the Miami Beach Botanical Garden has a really interesting lawn furniture selection, very comfortable, and they're splattered around the lawn area to create different opportunities for seating in the gardens. The other aspect of a botanical garden is the programming, and that's very important because that's not only the physical elements, but the different things you do with those physical elements. Education, special events, art exhibitions, nursery sales, and retail are all aspects of the programming of a botanical garden. Education being one of the primary ones. It was interesting, I was just at the Miami Beach Botanical Gardens a week ago. It was their first day after COVID. They opened. The gentleman on the right was giving us, three of us, a tour because there was only three of us in the entire park. But his enthusiasm and knowledge of the plant material and the environment was so exciting because he was excited to finally be able to do one of his tours. And it was a really entertaining experience, but the whole experience of a botanical garden education are very important. They have a unique system that you can take your phone, call this number in the center bottom slide, and actually it will give you a tour of whatever garden you're in. And you don't have to be led by a tour guide, although our tour guide here was exceptionally good and really added to the whole experience of experiencing the botanical gardens. And that comes in the form of, signage, labeling different plant materials, all very typical of what you see in a botanical garden to educate the public on plant materials and whatever type of plants have been selected for the gardens. Also, the whole background to plant material is very important. For example, there's changing barks on eucalyptus or air plants, or how you get bananas from a banana plant, or the structure of bamboo plants. This was all done by our instructor at the gardens, and it was amazing. My background is landscape architecture, but it's amazing. He knew things about some of these plants that clearly that I had not seen before, and was really interested. And I know the people that were in our group, or the three of us, found it really interesting too, some of the plant knowledge that he had on the different types of plants in the garden. Special events become a very big part of Botanical Gardens, both for the community and fundraising capabilities to keep the gardens going. Wedding events are really popular because the gardens provide a great photographic location for weddings, and they also create a great setting for receptions as part of the gardens. As you can see here, different settings that they've had weddings, whether it be in the garden, take the photographs. If you take a look in the upper right-hand corner, these are the Royal Botanical Gardens where they shoot all the pictures with a drone. You can see the drone on the side there, so the drone is able to fly through the garden and take pictures of weddings, which is it's quite incredible, and the vantage points the drone has. You also have all of the different types of activities that can happen well beyond that, whether that's yoga, a very popular component of happening in gardens because of the setting, bird watching, special music series. These are all great activities that will draw people to the Botanical Garden and become a focal point of the community, actually. Art exhibitions, they're very, they've been successful in many of the Botanical Gardens in Florida, such as, the Huhuli sculptures, whether they're full-time art exhibitions in the gardens or they're rotating. They're a great draw for the public to come and see how these different exhibitions can be displayed in the Botanical Gardens, and really create some incredible opportunities for these experiences to see art in the landscape. Nursery sales, not something that's necessary, but it has become very popular that the Botanical Gardens actually take cuttings, take material that they have in the garden and create plants that they then can sell to the public. This is the one in Miami Beach, and they offer certain days you can come and actually buy plants from the nursery that they have, or from their nursery section that have taken from the garden themselves. And also many of these have small, very small specialty retail that offer unique sort of gifts and items for the public to purchase when they visit the gardens. And that basically is a summary of what we think the Botanical Garden, the opportunities for this project, and we're very excited about getting to work with the community and coming up with a great design for this project. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Ms. King, do we have any input from the public on this issue, on this item?
We do not.
Very good, we'll move on. Questions, comments from the commission? Commissioner McGee.
I just want to say that was a really exciting presentation. I hadn't really given much thought about botanical gardens until we started going down this path. And having visited the one in South Beach and now seeing all these different ideas, I think I'm very excited just about all the options we have and really making McNab Park special. So thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Very good. Commissioner Eaton, you are on mute. There you go.
Yes, I concur with Commissioner McGee. Having visited the Miami Beach Garden, it was just fantastic, very educational. And I feel is a great opportunity, again, to continue to do what we do by improving the area and offering this is just gorgeous. I can't wait to walk down one of those paths. I love the orchid concept. I love the water feature concepts, and it's really, from what I'm seeing here, it's even more beautiful than I had imagined. I also especially think that it's going to be a stellar venue for weddings and other charities who may wish to use it as we move forward. But certainly, it'll be like an oasis in the middle of a bustling community. So it's just beautiful. I'm just love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. I do not see Commissioner McMahon on my screen. Can you unshare your screen, Mr. Hollingworth?
Yeah. Stop share.
There we go. That's better. Yeah, I just want to make sure I
Sorry.
can see everybody. If we have any more commission comments, questions, Commissioner McMahon.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. The plans really are truly exciting. Park like no other, and I'm sure in the end will be award-winning like our beach. Excited about the project. I think what Commissioner McGee said and what Commissioner Ron Eaton said are just really amazing things that are happening to our city all around us. This park will be like no other. It'll truly transform the quality of life to the residents that live around that park and provide a much needed improvement to that park. So very excited and great presentation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Very good. Mr. Hollingworth, this is just a opening salvo, so to speak. You still have a lot of steps to take. I know the ECRA Advisory Committee is going to be very engaged in this. You're going to have public meetings. I mean, this is just the beginning steps, correct?
What you saw today is all we've done so far, so we couldn't be more beginning than this. This is who we are, and here's what Botanical Gardens are. So this is I would call this day one of a process to get through, working with the city, the CRA, the community, to come up with something that's really unique. And I think that's very important, that we be unique and not just be a copy of somewhere else, but something that provides a true amenity for the city that, that no one else can offer. And I think there's an opportunity here. We kind of have a blank slate. We do have a site with some great trees, but this is like a blank slate to do something really phenomenal for the city. But it is day one.
Oh, yeah. Okay, very good. It's very exciting. Commissioner Eaton.
Thanks, Mayor. So also, I think we probably could incorporate some of our cultural arts department in this for the art features at some of these.
That would be great.
Yeah,
Great.
So my thought.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of collaboration is involved in putting together something like this, and I'm sure Mr. Hollingworth is familiar with that. And I know you guys have done good work for us in the past. In fact, you guys go all the way back to doing our parks master plan years ago.